Hello, everyone. Welcome to English Classes Online. My name is Benjamin. Today's video is on summary writing in Ssce English, applying the Rerp technique. Watch this before your exam. Of course, I will explain to you the term Rerp, which is an acronym that stands for a simple technique that will help you to simplify the summary writing process. This lesson is on how to answer summary questions effortlessly in your English exams. If you are new to this channel, kindly subscribe to the channel by clicking on the subscribe button below. You will find a red button tagged subscribe. Just click on it and you will be subscribed to this channel. That means you will have free access to all the videos we upload on the channel. And it will be important for you to click on the bell icon. Also, you will find a bell icon. Click on it and that will ensure that whenever a new video is uploaded on the channel, you will be notified instantly. Having said this, let's dive into the lesson right away. Let's take a quick look at the agenda. Number one, what exactly is a summary? Number two, what are the steps to take when writing a summary? And number three, how to summarize a given passage, applying the Rerp summarizing technique. So this is the agenda. Let's right away get into other aspects. Now you need to understand that summary questions in the WAEC exam or the NECO or NAPTEP or any other Ssce English exam usually occur in section C of the English language theory questions. And section C carries 30 marks, all right? If you master and apply the Rerp technique, you can win maximum marks in this section. So it is important that you watch this video till the end so that you capture the technique, have a firm grasp of what it is and how to apply it, so that whenever you enter your English exam hall, you can easily apply the technique and win the 30 marks. That will, of course, boost your overall performance. Now, what exactly is a summary? You know, a summary is a brief statement of the main ideas in a passage or piece of writing. And you know, summary writing is really important, not just because it will enable you to pass your exam, but also because it is an effective tool for skill acquisition and for learning in all fields of life. You know, to learn anything effectively, you should be able to extract the key points, because you don't have to overload yourself with all the unnecessary details. Your ability to differentiate the key points from the lesser points is what really makes you an expert in whatever field that you want to be knowledgeable about. Now, the summary writing process is a process you need to understand, because when you understand it, then you will know exactly what to do when it is time to summarize. Now, summary writing is about picking out the main ideas in a passage and presenting them precisely in your own words. All right? You are given a longer passage, probably a page or 2 pages, and you are asked to summarize certain key ideas in that passage in a few sentences. And so you should be able to identify these key points or main ideas, then pick them out, extract them, and then reconstruct them and present these ideas in your own words as much as possible. And I am going to show you the process so that you will master the skill of summarizing. All right? Number 2, what are the steps to take when writing a summary? Or in other words, what is the acronym REP, R-E-R-P? Now, let me just simplify this for you, all right? Let's look at it quite well. Number 1 is read. Of course, you can see here that RERP stands for read, extract, reconstruct, and present. Simple. So when you are given a passage in your English exam, then you know that these 4 simple steps are the steps you need to take. Read, extract, reconstruct, and present. Let me explain this. Now, in reading, you have the ABC step of your reading, and that A is to read the question. I always encourage my students to read the question first. Very, very important. I will explain why you need to read the question first. It's a very powerful technique. It has been tried, it has been tested, it has been proven to be effective. And when you understand it and apply it, it will help you to simplify the summary writing process. Then B is to read the passage. So the first thing you read is the question, the second thing you read is the passage, and the third thing, which is C, that you read is the passage, is the question. You go back to the question. So A is read the question, B is read the passage at least twice, and then C is go back to the question and read it again. Then at this point, you will pick each question if the questions are more than one. Some summary questions will just give you 1 question, or it may be 2, A and B, or it could even be A, B, and C. All right, so you pick each question, and once you understand what the question demands from you, then you head back to the passage, and the number 2 step will be to extract. That is step E. Step R is to read. Step E is to extract. I will explain these steps one by one. Then the third step, which is step R, is to reconstruct. Step 4, which is step P, is to present. So you can see that REP, which is a technique, an acronym that stands for read, extract, reconstruct, and present. All right, so now let's look at the third point in our agenda, which is how to summarize a given passage. Now it's time to apply the REP technique. You know, this is just how to summarize a given passage. Apply the REP technique, and I will explain to you. It's so simple, it's so easy when you understand this, all right? And at this juncture, I want you to ensure you understand what REP stands for, R-E-R-P, which is read, extract, reconstruct, and present, a simple summary writing process, all right? Now let's begin to examine the steps and how we can apply the technique. Step R is read. You heard me right, read. That is the first step, all right? Now, let's look at the ABC aspect of read. The A aspect of read is read the questions first. Why? So as to know what you are to look for in the passage. All right, so I've always explained this, that when you read the question first, it facilitates your reading, because after reading the question first, you already know what you are looking for. You have discovered, you have understood what the examiner wants you to summarize. So armed with this piece of information, you are now going to look for the facts, the points, the main points in the passage that will enable you to summarize what you have been asked to summarize. So that enables you to read the passage with a purpose, since you already know what you are looking for. Now, what happens when you read the question first is that you already know what the passage is all about, even before reading the passage. So it gives you that foreknowledge that equips you. And so you are now going into the passage not as a person who is a stranger, who is just visiting a place for the first time. Even without stepping your feet in that area, you are already familiar with the terrain because you have been given a clear picture of the place. So it makes it easy for you to look for what you are looking for. And then reading the question first enables you to use what I call the scanning technique. The scanning technique is a reading technique that enables you to look for a specific piece of information, identify it, and end the search. It simplifies the search. All right? Let me give you an example. If you are asked to go into the bedroom and pick a purse, all right? Well, if you get into the bedroom and somehow you forget what exactly you have been asked to pick from the bedroom, then you may waste the whole time searching the entire bedroom, ransacking all the corners, and yet you will end up not coming out with the purse because you don't know exactly what you are asked to pick. But if you know clearly and remember precisely that you have been asked to pick the purse, then you go into the room knowing what you are looking for. And the moment you find the purse, you pick it, and that ends your search. When people go for a scan, they are looking for a specific piece of information. So the scanning method of reading is a method of reading that enables you to look for a specific piece of information. And once you pick this piece of information, then that ends your reading for that particular point of time. So it speeds up your reading. Now let's look at the B aspect of the reading. B, read the passage at least twice or until you understand what the passage is about. Now, it all depends on your reading speed or speed of reading. You know, someone who has a high speed of reading and a high degree of comprehension, because you need to train yourself to be able to read at a fast speed. And if you are able to read and grasp the main points of a passage, you can read it, and even after the first reading, you are already aware of what the passage is about. More so because you already have a prior knowledge of what the passage is about, having read the question first. However, the important thing is for you to make sure you understand the passage before you begin to answer the question. The reason is that comprehension comes before summarizing. To comprehend means to understand. If you don't understand a passage, you have no business summarizing it. So you need to understand what the passage is all about before answering the questions on it. Then the C aspect of read is to read the questions again and make sure you understand what you are asked to do. Very, very important, because most students lose marks at this stage in that they do the opposite of what the examiner has asked them to do. You need to meticulously read the question and make sure you understand the very ideas that the examiner has asked you to summarize in the passage. Now, once you are armed with this full understanding, you know exactly what you have been asked to do, and you have understood exactly how you are going to do it, then you head back to the passage. And this is where step E, begins. Step E is to extract. This is the point at which you begin to extract the ideas. All right. So what you do is to extract the main points in the passage in strict adherence to the instruction in the summary question. All right. And there are some clues that can help you at this stage. Now, there is a particular part of every passage, every writing that is called the thesis statement is normally located in the introductory paragraph, which is the first paragraph. If you are able to locate the thesis statement, it gives you a summary of the whole passage, a statement that tells you everything the writer is saying in the passage. And that kind of information, that piece of information, gives you a clue as to how you can easily summarize the whole passage. Assuming there is a question that requires you to summarize the whole passage in one sentence, the thesis statement will help you to do that. Then the second clue is the topic sentence. The topic sentence is the main idea of each paragraph. So there are several topic sentences depending on the number of paragraphs that the passage contains. Now, there is something I must add quickly here. It depends on the writer's style of writing or the type of passage you are given to summarize. It's really not a dogmatic rule that, if you have 3 paragraphs, then there will be 3 topic sentences. No. The important thing is for you to understand that a topic sentence is a main idea, that tells you everything that the writer is saying in a particular paragraph. Let's assume that the passage is about, the causes of road accidents, and the writer is discussing 3 factors responsible for road accident. Now, let's assume these points are as follows. Number 1, bad roads. Number 2, drinking and driving. Number 3, lack of vehicle maintenance. Then he's likely to discuss these 3 points in 3 paragraphs because that is the professional way to write. And so in paragraph 2, he can discuss bad roads. In paragraph 3, he can discuss drinking while driving. In paragraph 4, he can discuss lack of vehicle maintenance. All right. So now when he writes and probably begins with a topic sentence, then once you get to paragraph 2 where he discusses bad roads, he may begin by saying most of the roads in the country are bad. That is the topic sentence. Then other sentences in that paragraph will tell you why the roads are bad. For example, it can tell you that most of the roads contain potholes, or that the roads are too narrow, or that the roads are flooded, you know, those things that confirm that first statement he has made, they are the supporting details. But the main idea he wants to express in that paragraph is that the roads are bad. So if you are summarizing and you are asked to summarize in 3 sentences the factors responsible for road accidents as described in the passage, you get to paragraph 2, you simply extract the idea that the roads are bad. And that will give you the first sentence. You go to the next sentence where he's talking about drinking under the driving under the influence of alcohol or drinking while driving, you will extract it. You go to the other paragraph where he discusses lack of vehicle maintenance, you extract it, and then you change this to your own way. That's just the simple process of summarizing, all right? Using the topic sentence. Once you are able to extract the topic sentences, then these are the things you need to extract. Now, in a situation where the paragraphs of the passage are not professionally organized, and sometimes you find the writer even lumping 2 main ideas in one sentence or even more, you need to use some clues that we call context clues. In this case, you use the keywords. Now, let me show you how you can use context clues to identify the points required in the questions. If you look for the previous video I uploaded on summary writing, you will also find details of how you use these context clues to identify the points. Now, what you do here is to look for the keywords contained in the summary question. Now, for example, you can find this particular question in the West African Senior School Certificate Examination of June 2019. Question A, in 4 sentences, 1 for each, summarize the effects of the excessive use of the television and the internet on children. All right, so these particular expressions that are, you know, given that are written in red are the keywords. So once you pick the keywords from the question, then you will be looking for those areas of the passage where you can find these keywords, and that will give you a clue to, you know, what you need to extract. You know, what you are asked to summarize is the effects of the excessive use of the television. As you read the passage, you will be looking for where the writer is talking about the effects of the excessive use of the television and the internet, and then, you know, on children. So when you find where these effects are on adults, you are not concerned with that. You use the key words as what will enable you to filter out the unnecessary material and to get at the relevant information. So the keywords are the very, you know, context clues you need when you begin to extract the idea that you are going to use in your summary writing. Then that brings us to step R, which is reconstruct. At this stage, you have already extracted the points, all right? So you have extracted the points. Let me try and show you certain things. You know, you have extracted the points. Let's assume that, you know, you have already extracted the points using the example of the factors responsible for road accidents. You know, you have extracted point, bad roads. Then 2, alcohol. 3, of course, you in that case you extract the exact words. You know, you extract the exact words the writer has put down there. It can tell you that most of the roads are in a deplorable condition. All right. Okay. You can say many of the drivers that ply the roads usually drink alcohol while driving. Then you can say almost all the vehicle owners find it difficult to maintain their vehicles. Okay, so you have extracted these points from the passage. And so all you need to do is to begin to change each sentence. So, but this is the point at which you reconstruct. So you pick each passage, each sentence, and reconstruct it. How can you change? Most of the roads are in a deplorable condition. You know, you can retain some words and change some words. You can say most of the roads are bad. Simple. That shortens it. You know. All right. So then you come to number 2. Many of the drivers that ply the roads usually drink alcohol while driving. You can say that, you know, most of the drivers drive while drinking or drink while driving. Or you can say the drivers drive under the influence of alcohol. All right. Or you can say most of the drivers drive in while drunk. You know, just change some of the words. All right. Then almost all the vehicle owners find it difficult to maintain their vehicles. You can say, well, the majority of the, or you can say the vehicle owners don't maintain their vehicles. All right? Don't maintain their vehicles. All right? So that is exactly the way to do it. Okay, so reconstructing is a very, very effective way of ensuring that you do not really run, you do not violate the rule of summarizing. One of the rules is, you know, don't or avoid the use of unnecessary material. Now, in summarizing, it is called mindless lifting. When you just copy word for word from the passage, you lose marks, all right? So having said that, let's go to the next step, which is, of course, we have already explained, reconstruct the extracts in your own sentences and using the appropriate word reduction methods. So let's try and see some of the word reduction methods. I'm not going to take you through these methods. You can look for the previous video I uploaded on summary writing, a recent video, and you will find the various methods of reducing words. All right. Let's go straight to step P, which is present. You know, once you have reconstructed your the ideas you extracted from the passage, the next thing you need to do is to present them, all right? To simply present these points as your answers. Okay, let's see how this is done. For example, you need to make sure you use exactly, you present your answers in the specified number of sentences. This is really very important, especially in the West African Senior School Certificate Examination or NECO SSCE or NAPTEP SSCE. In fact, most of the time, the summary questions require candidates to summarize in 3, 4, or 5 sentences as the case may be. Just like the example we earlier saw and which we will revisit. So you ensure that you present your answers in the specified number of sentences. For example, you need to make sure you use exactly 4 sentences to convey your points as specified in the question. Now let's look at this question that featured in the West African Senior School Certificate Examination of June 2019. And here you are asked to, in 4 sentences, 1 for each, summarize the effects of the excessive use of television and the internet on children. All right. So in this case, you cannot write 5 sentences where you are required to write only 4. You must be precise. 4 sentences mean 4 sentences, not 5 or 6 or more. All right. So precision is important. You must be precise. Now, in presenting your summary answers, you may or may not use a preamble. For example, if you want to use a preamble, and by the way, you may ask, what exactly is a preamble? A preamble is an opening statement which introduces a number of ideas that, provide information, additional information. All right, let's look at how you actually carve out your preamble. If you decide to use a preamble, remember the question we looked at in 4 sentences, 1 for each. Summarize the effects of the excessive use of the television and the internet on children. So your preamble should start from here. You are going to say the effects of the excessive use of television and internet on children are, so the preamble is just the opening statement. All right. So you pick that major part of the question that gives you this instruction. After summarize or state, then you begin from where you are told what to summarize, and then you present it as the opener, as what will introduce the answers you are going to give. This is what we call a preamble. It's an opening statement which shows that some points are to follow. Now, we have attempted to use this in answering that question and look at how a preamble is used. The effects of the excessive use of the television and the internet on children are, you write I, it exposes children to bad habits. Of course, you may decide to, repeat the very information. You can say the the excessive use of the television and the internet exposes children to bad habits. You can also say the excessive use of the television and the internet prevents children from doing their academic work. The excessive use of the television and the internet can affect children's health negatively. All right. So the important thing is for you to summarize, by using complete sentences. But here, I have only used the pronoun it to stand for the excessive use of television and the internet. All right. So when I say it exposes children to bad habits, I'm saying that the excessive use of the television and the internet exposes children to bad habits. The excessive use of the television and the internet destroys the children's relationship with their parents. All right, it prevents children from doing their academic work. It can affect children's health negatively. Now, one thing you need to note here is that it is not acceptable for you to come with an incomplete expression that does not really qualify as a sentence. Don't forget, you have been asked to summarize in a given number of sentences, not in a given number of phrases or in a given number of subordinate clauses, but in a given number of sentences. So this is exactly how to present your summary answers. Now, the alternative way of presenting your answers is to use what I call the direct sentence method. In this case, you decide not to use a preamble. And all you need to do is to remove this preamble. Now, this is the preamble. The effects of the excessive use of the television and the internet on children are, this is the preamble. Now, take note of the fact that you need to write exactly the alphabet of the question you are answering. I must emphasize this point because some students, they actually commit a blunder here where they are asked to answer question A in answering the right one. Of course, you introduce confusion in the whole thing because the examiner has given you a question which is question A, it is not question 1. So for you to come with number 1 as the answer to question A, of course, calls for some loss of marks, all right? And the examiner could even rightly say that, well, you were not asked to answer any question 1, so that actually is really not acceptable. You have seen how this is presented. In the question, it is question A. And if, for example, in that theory part of the exam, your summary question is number 7, for example, and then question A, you have to write 7. All right, so let me show you exactly how you must present it. So you must begin by writing 7, okay? Then you write A, and then you say the effect. All right, so this is how to present it. All right. Now, if you decide not to use a preamble, what you need to do is to write 7, then write A, make sure you always put the alphabet of the question as the alphabet of your answer. And then, because you are not using the preamble method, you can now begin with I, and you say the excessive use of the television and the internet exposes children to bad habits. You see, you have used the direct sentence method here. You have decided not to use a preamble. So you simply write number 7, question A, and then you come with point I because you are asked to summarize in 4 sentences. So sentence I is the excessive use of the television and the internet exposes children to bad habits. Now, after which you then come with I, and then you give the second sentence. Then you proceed to I, you give the third sentence. Then you proceed to IV, you give the fourth sentence. This is how to present your answers using the direct sentence method. So you have 2 optional ways of presenting your summary answers. The first option is to use the preamble method. The second option is to use the direct sentence method, in which case you don't need a preamble, you just present your answers in a direct way, all right? So this is where we are going to draw the curtain in today's video. I hope you have, gained from today's video. If you have actually gained from today's video, why not like the video and share the video with your friends and relations? And if you have any of your friends or relations who is actually going to sit for any of these exams, then you can share a link to this video with them so that they will discover this Rerp technique: read, extract, reconstruct, and present. And it will simplify the process for them, so they will be able to remember this acronym and use this technique to actually win maximum marks in their English exam. Having said this, I want to emphasize that if you have not yet subscribed to this channel, this is the point at which you need to hit the subscribe button and be subscribed to the channel. This channel is a place where we simplify English learning. We try as much as possible to provide value. And if you are also interested in content creation, in digital marketing, of course, you know that language is the effective tool for communicating ideas. And of course, I am creating this content that is, useful to a lot of you out there, using the instrumentality or the vehicle of language. So language is a powerful tool for communicating your ideas. So if you have completed your education, you have graduated from school, you are looking for what to do, or instead of roaming the streets, applying for jobs that may not be there, why not learn content creation? All right. So there are a number of related videos, that will help you to learn the skill. And of course, it will help you to create multiple streams of income, because we live in a digital world right now. I created a new channel recently, which is AB Digital Tech Channel. Is a new channel, and that channel is devoted to teaching digital skills. All right. So you can actually probably just type AB Digital Tech, AB Digital Tech, and you will actually find the channel. If you are interested in learning how to create a free website, how to create a YouTube channel, how to create and sell your ebooks on various online platforms, how to start your online business. These are the various things that are discussed on that channel. And you can learn some of these digital skills from there that will help you to begin to earn money on online. So I want to say a big thank you to all of you who have been part of today's video, and a myriad of our viewers who have been supportive of this channel. This channel recently got successfully monetized, and you will find a video I uploaded which also discussed that experience, how I applied for monetization and got approval within 26 hours, which shows that, you know, this channel is really doing exceedingly well. And I attribute the success of this channel to all our viewers and subscribers. So I want to say a big thank you to all of you. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye-bye for now, and remain blessed. Many thanks for watching today's video. A big thank you to all of you out there for being part of today's episode. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, kindly subscribe to this channel. Subscribe now as a way of giving us support. For notification about new videos, click on the bell icon. You will find the bell icon. Click on it so that whenever a new video is uploaded, you will be instantly notified. If you have actually enjoyed the video, like and share the video with your friends and relatives. This is very important. If you have any comments, leave your comments below. Any questions, any suggestions, we would gladly receive them and respond promptly and positively to them. See you in the next video. I look forward to always seeing you in the new video.